All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're tackling something I know so many of us struggle with daily. How do you conquer that heavy, dual weight of ambition? Like, how are we supposed to push ourselves to achieve incredible things, both academically and physically, without just totally burning out in the process? Well, we're going to break down the exact blueprint for success right now.
First, I want you to really picture this scene. It's late at night, you're sitting there under the quiet, focused glow of a single desk lamp. There's a stack of thick textbooks sitting wide open right beside a ticking clock. The room is dead silent, save for the steady rhythm of heavy breathing. Sweat drips onto the desk blotter as a pair of hands pushes through one last rep of push-ups right beside the chair. It's an incredibly powerful image, right? I mean, it just perfectly captures that quiet intensity of pushing for both intellectual and physical greatness in the exact same breath.
Section 1. The dual weight of ambition and the pressure of the quiet dark.
And this brings us to a massive trap. See, we have this relentless, burning drive to transform our bodies, to be physically strong, right? But we're simultaneously carrying the immense pressure to succeed academically or in our careers. That dual ambition just hangs heavy in the quiet dark. Because we want both so desperately, we kind of trick ourselves. We think, okay, the only way to achieve these goals is by working myself to the absolute bone. We just assume total exhaustion is the mandatory price of admission for high achievement. But what if it isn't? Instead of this chaotic grind, let's look at the timeline of a highly disciplined system. You've got a 6 a.m. gym session, a mid-morning study block, and evening rest. What this shows us is that sustainable success actually requires a chronological system, not just endless, unguided grinding. It's really about slotting your ambition into specific, highly controlled windows of time throughout your day.
Section 2, Early Morning Pure Focus, or the 6 a.m. workout.
Just imagine the sensory shift that happens here. Morning breaks with the sharp, unforgiving ring of an alarm at 6 a.m. While the rest of the world is literally fast asleep, you're up. You lace up your shoes, grab the gym bag, and the front door shuts softly behind you. Soon, you're standing in the dim lighting of an early morning gym, the sharp clank of iron plates echoing around you. But notice the stark contrast in how time is used here. On one hand, you have the typical approach, those 2-hour marathon gym sessions mixed with a lot of wasted time scrolling on a phone between sets. You're basically just existing in the gym. But on the other hand, pure, focused effort. In a true system of disciplined ambition, every single set is intentional. It's precise. It's controlled. You aren't there to hang out. You're there to execute.
So the crucial point here is this magic number, 45. 45 minutes. That is literally all it takes if your effort is pure and uninterrupted. By trading those drawn-out marathon sessions for a tightly compressed, 45-minute window of absolute focus, you get exponentially better results. And honestly, more importantly, you buy back your precious time and energy for the rest of the day.
Moving on to Section 3, Structured Silence and Study, focusing on that mid-morning academic shift.
By mid-morning, the scenery shifts completely. The heavy, metallic noise of the gym gives way to the structured silence of the lecture hall or the library or your study desk. Now, this exposes the academic trap we so often fall into. We think studying means just staring blankly at pages for hours upon hours until total exhaustion sets in. But there is a much better way, and it's all about sharp, manageable windows. We really shouldn't just grind until our brains feel like mush. Actually, just like in the gym, academic success comes from high-intensity, bounded periods of effort. Let's walk through the exact sequence for active focus. Step 1, set a timer for 45 minutes. Yep, there's that magic number again. Step 2, put the phone completely out of sight. And I mean totally away, not just flipped over on the desk, but out of sight entirely. Step 3, pens move across paper. You aren't just passively reading here, you are actively testing concepts. Active focus takes over. This is deliberate practice for your brain, and it keeps you incredibly engaged. Which brings us to a huge paradigm shift. We need to completely redefine what discipline actually means. Discipline isn't about working yourself into the ground until you inevitably hit a wall of burnout. True discipline is the art of channeling total concentration into sharp, manageable windows. It's knowing exactly when to push hard and, just as crucially, knowing exactly when to stop.
And that brings us to Section 4, Fuel, Rest, and Repair, the evening simplification.
So, knowing when to stop brings us to our final phase. As evening falls, the entire routine has to simplify. This is not the time to introduce new stressors or complicated tasks, The goal here is to actively cut out stress and deliberately allow your body and your mind to recover from those intense 45-minute windows you executed earlier. The exact steps are super simple. First, prepare a quick high-protein meal. We're talking minutes to prep here, intentionally cutting out the chaos of a complicated, drawn-out kitchen routine. Next, close the books early, draw a hard boundary on your intellectual labor for the day. Finally, switch the light off. These simple steps remove all the chaos and signify to your brain that the day's work is definitively over.
And that early lights out, it's specifically designed to hit one absolutely critical metric: 7. 7 solid hours of uninterrupted rest are completely mandatory. Seriously, this isn't a luxury and it's not a suggestion. It is a strict biological requirement to repair both the brain you heavily taxed at the study desk and the muscle fibers you broke down in the gym. Without hitting this number, the entire architectural system of your ambition just collapses. Section 5. A system, not total exhaustion. Replacing chaos with routine.
Let's bring this whole day together. Whether we're talking about maintaining a high GPA in school, crushing it in your career, or building physical strength, none of it demands total exhaustion. You do not have to be perpetually tired to be highly successful. You just have to replace chaotic, unstructured effort with a reliable system. Which leads us to our ultimate takeaway from this explainer. When routine replaces chaos, consistency becomes effortless. Think deeply about that for a second. Once you build the architecture of your day, those strict 45-minute blocks of pure focus, the simplified evenings, the 7 guaranteed hours of sleep, you'll realize you never actually have to sacrifice your health to reach your goals. The system literally does the heavy lifting for you.
Which leaves us with one final, very important thing to consider as we wrap up today. I want you to look at your own daily structure right now. Is your routine built on exhausting chaos where you're constantly running on fumes just trying to get everything done? Or are you building a sustainable system? The ambition is already inside you. The choice of how you channel it, well, that's entirely up to you.